Hello, Scruffy fam. Joe here. Man, I am confused. Wonder if you guys can help me out. Let's go. Hey, what's up guys? Joe here from the Scruffy fam. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up that I can't wait to tell you guys, but I have to wait a little bit before I tell you. But it's going to be really awesome. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is it is now coming near the end of May, and before you know it, it is going to be hunting season. We're already starting to look at black bear here in Wisconsin, and before you know it, it's going to be youth hunt time and then deer season. And I am actually really excited about that this year. I've got quite a bit of opportunities with people to go hunting, and I am super pumped to be able to go out. Now here's the conundrum. I have, let's see, 4 different rifles that I could take hunting, and I haven't harvested a deer with any of them. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about the pluses and minuses of each one, and let's see if we can figure it out. Alright, first up, we have my Mossberg Patriot Predator in 6.5 PRC. And I just did a video talking about this might be the best new budget rifle for under $500. I really like this thing. I like the 6.5 PRC. I like what it can do. This thing shoots lights out. I do have a Monstrum G3 6x30 6x56 illuminated reticle on this thing, and we have an Area 419 Hellfire muzzle brake. This thing is nice. Okay, it is very nice to shoot. The stock's really cheap, but as far as accuracy, this thing is we're half MOA or less with the ammo that I'm using. So I would feel confident shooting anything out to 600 yards. But honestly, I'm not going to shoot anything past 200 yards where I'm at. I think the absolute longest shot when I distanced it was 200 yards, and that's at the very edge of where I can hunt. So realistically, we're looking at 150 yards, and 6.5 PRC, not a problem. So this is the first one. I've had a lot of range time with this. It's been a lot of fun to shoot. It's really easy to shoot. The recoil is not bad at all. But I've got a really large optic on it. This thing is made for long distance hunting, so I'm not quite sure. I think it'd be really cool to take a deer with 6.5 PRC. But let's talk about some of the others. Alright, let's see what's next. Okay, so if the Mossberg Patriot Predator is the best under 500, this is the complete opposite end of the spectrum. This is my Winchester Model 70 in 270 Winchester. If you guys have been watching the channel or seen any of the videos, you would know this has been my dream rifle for a long time. Ever since I was a kid, I was reading the Jack O'Connor articles about hunting sheep, and just the stories of his Model 70 and the 270. I mean, the rifleman's rifle. I don't need to, if you're a gun person, I probably don't need to go into a whole bunch of detail about this firearm. I got this new, I've taken it out to the range to get it sighted in and do an ammo test. I really want to spend a little bit more time at the range. I wasn't happy with the optic I had on. Now I've got a Blackhound 4-14 by 44 illuminated reticle on here. I like this a lot better. I like the setup a lot better. I actually ended up getting a Picatinny rail to put on here. I just was not happy with the dovetail rings. So I put on this rail. I know it's not classic Model 70, but this actually works a lot better. So I'm going to get this out to the range. I got a couple different types of ammo that I want to test with this, but I got a ridiculously small group with some Remington Sirocco, 130 grain. That, again, was under half MOA with this rifle at 100 yards. So between the 6.5 PRC and this, ballistically, they're pretty similar. And even in bullet size, there's not a big difference. This is a little bit bigger. But, you know, do you take the new budget build with the fancy newer caliber, or do you take the classic? So we have the 6.5 PRC and the 270 Winchester, synthetic stock, maple stock, super budget, absolutely not budget. All right, but like I said, I had 4, so let's talk about the next 2. All right, so we started with the Mossberg Patriot Predator and 6.5 PRC. Then we went to the Winchester Model 70 and 270 Winchester. Now, let's talk about something else. We have the Ruger American Ranch in 7.62 by 39. This is in a Sharps Brothers Heat Seeker chassis. This thing, man, if you watch some of the videos, this is just fun to shoot. The 7.62 by 39 is a 30 caliber, so we've gone up in size of bullet. But the downside to this, as far as killing power for a deer, I probably wouldn't go past 150 yards with this. I would say it's very comparable to a 30-30 ballistically, and it's not something you want to try to do long range shots with. I could probably go out to 200 yards with appropriate bullet selection and really good shot placement, but I purposely put a 3x9 on here for out to 100 yards. So 2 of the places that I hunt are tree stands, and I'm probably not going to be shooting more than 100 yards. So both of those, this would be just fine. I have no doubt that the 7.62 by 39 is more than capable enough of taking down a deer. This thing is just, it's a lot of fun to shoot. It's very ergonomical, it's very compact. This would be very easy to get up and down out of the tree. I wouldn't worry about banging this on anything. And we had a 3/4 MOA group at 100 yards out of a 5-shot group. It was a 5-shot 3/4 MOA group out of this with the Hornady Black ammo, which is ballistic tipped, so it'd be great for hunting. So this is also an option. This is a more modernized style of a hunting rifle. We have a collapsible stock on here. We have a vertical grip. We have a detachable magazine. Still a bolt action. Okay, so it's still bolt action. And the Ruger American is a very common hunting rifle. And this one just shoots really, really well. But we are limited on range. But it's really easy to shoot and it's a lot of fun. So 7.62 by 39 in the Ruger American Ranch. But wait, there's one more. Alright guys, so this is the last one that we'll talk about. And my goodness, this is my Ruger M77 original tank safety 338 Win Mag. Let's look at this bad boy here. So we've had a journey with this thing. I've done a lot of work to this rifle. This rifle, when I got it, was painted a different color. We had it in the maple stock, we had it in the Macmillan stock. We had to replace the trigger guard, had to work on the trigger itself, had to clean this, we put a muzzle brake on it. We've done a lot of stuff to this rifle. When I first started shooting this rifle, it was in the maple stock, and I was getting about 1.5 inch groups with it. Wasn't really happy with it. I didn't like the length of pull that I had on the McMillan stock, and it also honestly wasn't bedded quite right, so I did a little work to the stock. I worked on my length of pull to make sure that I was set up appropriately. I'm not going to be wearing a t-shirt in November in Wisconsin, so I actually put a jacket on when I went to shoot this once to make sure that my length of pull was right, and it actually worked out really, really well. So I was happy with that. And if you guys watched the videos, the last time I took this thing to the range, I did a video on did we fix the 338, and boy did we. Got a 0.6 inch group with the Hornady Super Performance SST 225 grain at 100 yards. So 0.6 group at 100 yards with that SST ammo. This isn't that rough to shoot either. This muzzle brake that I've got on here, okay, this thing is sweet. It's got 4 ports on each side. It dissipates the energy really well. I like the feel of this rifle now. It feels really good. I have a good optic on it. I put the Vortex Diamondback 4-16 on here. I like this setup a lot. So the argument against this would be 338's a little much for deer, right? But I had someone remind me, people use 7 Rem Mag and 300 Win Mag on deer all the time. How is 338 Win Mag any different? And, you know, I guess if you change the grain, I could go down to 180 grain or 200 grain. I have some 200 grain hand loads. I go down to 200 grain, and then you're getting close to my hunting ammo. My old 308 was 165 grain. So a little bit different, but when you look at just the step up in calibers I have, so the 6.5 PRC is a .264, okay? Then the 270 Winchester is a .277. Then you go into the 7.62 by 39, which is the 30 caliber, and then you go into the 338. You know, we're looking at much bigger bullets as we go up that chain. And I think a really good point to land on here is that all of these are very capable at taking medium-sized game, and 3 of them are good at taking large-sized game. The 7.62 by 39, I would not use that for anything larger than a whitetail deer at appropriate ranges, so within 150 yards. Maybe 200 depending on the bullet that I had and the shot placement, but honestly 150 in, I would have no qualms whatsoever shooting it. So maybe that goes into the discussion a little bit, is the 7.62 enough for some of those longer range shots? If I'm hunting in the tree stand and only 75, 100, yeah, not a big deal. But if I have 3 different locations that I can hunt, 2 of them offer me shots out to 200 yards. 1 is nothing farther than 100 yards. Which caliber and which rifle do you guys think would be the best one for me to take? Now, the 4 that I picked are all capable. All of them are shooting under 1 MOA, so they're shooting under 1 inch groups at 100 yards. I have the ammo set for each of them, and the reason I would like to start now is the more time I spend at the range getting everything dialed in, the more consistent I can be. And what you're looking for when it comes time for hunting season is that comfortability, that when you pull that trigger on that one shot, you will be dropping that animal. So I want to make sure that I get consistent, repeatable results. With lots of training, I really want to focus on that firearm that I'm going to be using for hunting season. I've got a lot of time to shoot this summer. I'm getting my 7-year-old out to the range a lot as he gets ready for his first youth hunt. My 18-year-old, I just gifted him my Ruger American Hunter in .308. I took him to the range yesterday, and we were doing tiny groups, so we're going to get him out and get him familiar with the .308. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time at the range over these next couple months. I want to make sure that I actually have good dedicated time. So guys, I'm going to ask you for your help to help me decide which of these 4 rifles am I going to use for hunting season this year. Am I going to use the super budget friendly Mossberg Patriot Predator and 6.5 PRC, the crazy expensive Model 70 and 270 Winchester, back to the budget on the Ruger American Ranch in 7.62x39, and back to the expensive in the Ruger M77 in .338 Win Mag? Let's have a discussion. Write down below which one you would take, why you would take it, and which one do you think would give you the best results. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.